Hey everyone, pardon the noise. You probably hear my refrigerator in the background, but wherever I go, there's noise in my apartment. But as I said before, I am grateful for my apartment. I wanted to start off by saying I am really thankful and appreciative of the stories that other people shared about where they are in their lives, some younger than me and some older than me and some around the same age. It helped me to realize how I am not alone, even though oftentimes I do feel like I'm in this by myself. I have been praying, for people and individuals because it's tough. The job market is changing. So many things are changing. And I'm being older, as someone said in the comments, there's also ageism. And it's unfortunate because I believe that so many of us have something to offer to a company, but the world has changed. Or maybe it's always been this way, it's just blown up more. But I wanted to stop and well, in the beginning, just start off this video by saying thank you for your encouragement. Some of you gave some advice. Some of you, I got a little bit of chastisement, but that's fine. And honestly, the truth of the matter, because I actually liked one of the comments, and it's about pride. And someone also made the comment about, God getting me to a place to depend on Him. And it is exactly true. I have been so proud of myself, of the things that I accomplished. I kind of talked about those because I was the first person in my family to go to college, all those things. And I am a person of accomplishment. For some reason, I know the reason behind it, but I always felt like I needed to check it off. It was my way of proving to my parents that I was worth loving. And it's not that my mother didn't love me, because she did. It comes from my father. He wasn't around. He denied me for years. We do have a relationship now, but still, I left home angry, and I was like, I gotta prove to him I can do this, and to wake up. And that's what it is. I've been holding on to my past. I've got to let go of it. Quite a few, well, not quite a few, but a few people said that, and it's true. My identity is in Jesus, and sometimes I forget that, because I've been so self-reliant and so dependent upon myself. And so here I am. But I am grateful for everything that everyone said. Today, like I said, I'm trying to get back on track. And I had to deal with my car issue today, because that was another thing that was behind. And my goal is to keep them from coming to get it. Got on the call with them today, worked out a plan. It is going to stretch me, but there are just some things I'm trying to do differently so that my life will look different in a year. And I was cooking today, and I was thinking about some things, my mother said. And one of them was, when I talked to her about being in debt and where I am, she has this saying, you didn't get in it overnight. You're not going to get out of it overnight. And for me, honestly, it's a hard pill to swallow. I am just caught up, and I know this is what part of it is. I'm caught up in my age. I'm older. And I know that shouldn't have anything to do with it, because I know God can do anything. He can change any situation overnight. But the panic and the fear is me, and that's what I've been working on to release. I'll be honest, I'm feeling a lot better. I don't know what it was about or what it is about that video, but just sharing helped me release. And I felt better, but at the same time, I still went through that embarrassment, But I tell it because there are other people out there going through what you're going through, but you don't realize how many. And some have worse situations than I do. And I am grateful. And that's one thing I've been trying to do, is practice a greater level of gratitude immediately when I get up throughout the day. And I am grateful, and I'll tell God that, because I have come I should be dead 10 times over. I don't want to talk about that right now, but circumstances in my life dictate that I should be dead. But it is by the grace of God that I am still here. One thing that I do, even though, I am working on the positive, trying to stay positive, watching, being more aware and careful about who I spend time with, because I don't want, put it that way, a lot of criticism from people who are close to me. Because we all have something that we don't want Jesus to know. And I am my worst critic. So as I'm going through that, I'm trying to be more conscious of what I do and what I say. And I just keep going back. And I have to say thank you for the comments and your stories, because they blessed me and encouraged me in so many ways. But going back to my car, I had to work out arrangements with the lien holder. And I was 2 months behind. Well, I am 2 months behind. So 60 days, I think 61 days as of today. And in whatever amount of days I'll be, 90 days behind. But I made arrangements with them. I just have to stay focused. I said I have a budget. I'm just going to have to prioritize. Unfortunately, I can't pay everybody every month. But just trying to take care of the basics and going back to what, some of you said, just depending on God. I know that He can do it. I've seen Him work in my life. I've seen Him do it for other people. And I won't tell you this story about God, and I eventually want to share, I'll just tell you these things. This is how I know what God is able to do. I got to share 2 things tonight. Well, 3 things. First of all, I'm grateful I have a place to stay still, and I still have my there I'm grateful that I'm getting up. I'm going to a job that I do enjoy, and I have peace in my life. This is there are things going on, but I have peace in my life outside of the chaos, put it that way. It's from the inside out. That's the first thing. The second thing is, and this is so bad because I feel like I'm having brain fog tonight. I think I'm just exhausted. But the second thing is, I remember at one point in my life, I think I was in Florida with some friends or whatever, and I was walking along the beach, and I had a conversation with God, and I was in my early 20s. And I said to him, I read about all these stories of who you are in the Bible. I need to know if that's who you really are. I need to know for myself. And I think that was the beginning of whatever. I have been a person all of my life. I enjoyed going to church and learning about God and the Word and about other religions. I don't know a whole lot, but I'm curious. But that's how it all started. As I continued on my track with church, my next step, I think, and this is part of, I guess altogether, my 1, 2, and 3. Well, 1 and 2. But as I went to church, I was that kid. I was running, trying to be on time for Sunday school because I want to know what the lesson was taught. But I still wanted to know who He was. People always talk about He did this, He did that. Well, I wanted to see it in my life. And I remember praying a prayer, and I asked God, I believe it was for 3 things. I wanted the heart of David, the boldness of Paul, and the courage of Joshua. I eventually added the wisdom of Solomon. And God doesn't just tap you on the head and give it to you. And I was hoping that's what I'd have, because Solomon asked for wisdom and the Lord just handed it to him. Well, my trek and journey has been different, but I believe that's part of another reason I'm going through this. So it's the self-dependence and answering a prayer at the same time. The reason I know God can change anything overnight, and I wish I could remember this quote that I read today, but I'll try to remember part of it. I'm going to end with that part. But Um, the reason I know who God is because I've seen him work with my own eyes. When I lived in, I was in Chicago at the time and I was on my way to work. And there was a billboard sign for a Movado watch. And I was like, Lord, I sure would like one of those watches someday. That was probably like a Thursday. And it was, Thursday, I think, middle of the week. Went on to work, got up that Sunday morning and went to church. And there was a woman who came over to me and I saw a Movado box in her hand. Now, I hadn't told anybody but the Lord. And I thought to myself, I know that's a Timex in that box. This woman is not about to give me a Movado. And I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. But she said to me, she said, the Lord laid it upon my heart to give this to you. And I opened the box. I still have the watch to this day. That's how I know God can work. I believe that when you have the heart for him, sometimes he answers prayers in a different way. And I thank God that I'm laughing today. Y'all don't know, I have cried almost every day for the last 30 days. And I hate that. I really want to be able to just get up and walk through this and embrace it. What is important to me is that I get the lesson. I learn from it and I move on. At the same time, helping others along the way. This is not an easy journey. Because I could think of a million illegal things I could do to have some money right now. But that's not the life I want. So I think I hit all three things. The first one was about the walk on the beach, the Movado watch. Oh, and the prayer that I prayed. So those were the three things. The quote that I read today, am I going to back up? Okay. The quote that I read this morning had to do with something I said to God last night, because I told you I'll do a little hustle, DoorDash and, hustle deliveries and whatever else I can do on the side. I do photography, whatever. And it wears you out because it's that striving. And I kept getting this feeling as I was driving yesterday that I was supposed to leave DoorDash behind. And y'all, let me tell you, I have the app on my phone, and I was looking tonight, they were paying, and I've never seen it this high, $20.50 per active hour plus tips. And I thought, and plus an additional $6 on top of it in my region. And I had to sit still because I really believe that I was not supposed to go. I was like, man, I could have made $200 today. That's all I could think about. But I'm trying to be obedient. I'm trying to stop striving, which leads me to the quote. When I got up this morning, it's almost like I had a reminder that I was not supposed to go out and do any DoorDash. And the quote I read said, you've been waiting on a breakthrough. But it could be that God is waiting on, and I'll post it, but it could be that God is waiting on you, waiting on a mind shift. So let me get that right. You've been waiting on a breakthrough, but God has been waiting on you to shift your mind. You've been striving and basically it said you've been striving, you've been doing all these things, but God's waiting on you and he wants you to depend on him. And that hit me this morning, and I felt as if it was confirmation. I don't know if you all listen to Willie Moe, but one of the things he says, I felt that down in my sha-na-na. Yes, and that's what I did. I felt that down in my sha-na-na. So I am not going out ever again. And the idea of releasing that striving and doing, it's pulling me out of survival mode because that's what I've been in for so long. I did say in my last video that one of the things that I want to do is I want to live the rest of my life happy, doing the things that I love to do. Or did I? I'm not sure. I can't remember if I said that or not, but that's what I want. I'm a creative and I love being, I've done different things and that's what I've decided to focus on. I believe that's the other thing that's going to help me get through. Learning to depend on God, do what I love, and allow Him to open and close the doors. So, but I'm going to wrap this video up. It has been quite a week, but I thank God that I'm still here. And I thank God that I'm still here because we have seen a lot in 57 years. So, all right, you all. Thanks again for your comments. Thank you so much for your encouragement. Thank you for everything. I will continue to post. I want to try to post every day, just kind of keep your breath, because my prayer for everybody who's on this channel is as I grow and release and move forward and elevate and expand, my prayer is that the same will happen for you. That doors that need to be open will be open. Doors that need to be closed shall be closed. But that you will receive pressed down, shaken together, and runneth over. And I believe for each of us. Unfortunately, that is not the journey for all of us. And I know that. I don't know where this is going and where it will all end up. But I do know and believe it is working out. And if I do what I'm supposed to do, to the best of my human and flesh ability, I know in the end, I'll be happy no matter what. I know that I will be. All right, y'all. Have a great morning, evening, night. I'm not sure when you're getting this, but thank you again. I am grateful. Thank you for the encouragement. Okay, I said I was finished, but I'm going to wrap up this last thing. I will tell you, as I got the notifications of the comments, I'm telling you, I just had to sit still because I was overwhelmed with so much. But it was all good. It was all good. So thank you again. All right. I am Celestial Nay. Speak your truth. Live with transparency. You will see the triumph.